yet. Ace played Revenge Core a couple of times. Not too successful, I think.
And also Yapster has played the heroes in forward position, so it is that kind of flex pick.
He got an Aghanims yesterday super quick.
Yeah.
I was really surprised when he just kept swapping people. I mean, in the end they still lost, but it was quite close.
I like seeing MSS on the more flashy playmaking heroes. I think he's a guy in the NA Dota community who gets a ton of praise from talent, from other players. He's always been very highly regarded back when he played offlane, now in the 4 position role. And he is a big playmaker. So these kind of heroes suit him much more than like, you know, the farming, let's just push with Coddle kind of thing we saw last game.
Yeah, and I think the team also needs him to make these kind of plays. Very big space creator.
Taking a lot of time here, this ban phase right now for Team Secret.
Yeah, usually when you they just profit, which suggests that both of the heroes are going to be run as support. They can't really deal with the profit at all.
Yeah.
Just sending trees at you, they just overpower you. What goes really well with Dark Willow?
Yeah, well, I was kind of thinking. You don't really want to run a Mirana Dark Willow lane, I feel.
Yeah, Dark Willow plus some really strong pressure.
Seen a lot of the Wraith King, which is banned out. Otherwise, just having a setup stun for Willow always feels nice to make sure you hit the Bramble Mace.
They actually ban out the Meepo. Might as well, because silence and Meepo. Yeah, even if you have all the counters in the world, silence and Meepo can destroy you.
They played a lot of Undying and Ogre
I think,
in the 5 position for Storm, by the way.
I like the Enigma as well. I think it's very similar to Nature's Prophet in lane with the Dark Willow, where you can just bully a lot.
And Snaking plays a really good one too.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would be a really good hero to try and get the VGJ Storm in this game, if it looks good.
But there's 2 black
It's true.
and swap.
It is true. But we've also seen, I like this aura strat that teams will do instead though, where like even if there are those big counters to the black hole, you just go like heavy into the Greaves, the pipe.
Yep, Crimson Guard. Yeah.
We saw that in the SCA TI qualifiers where teams would just run Enigma as a 4 position even, so the other team would get Silencer, Venge or whatever, and it's the black hole's countered, but it doesn't matter because you're still a strong laning hero and a strong teamfight presence.
Barely see the screen. Is that Chen there?
That is Chen.
Yes.
By Puppy?
Yeah,
people.
which I thought was a...
I mean, there was no way they were going to pick it, so they had their support.
Yeah, I was going to say Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker plus Dark Willow has been a very strong combo on the main stage. You just rupture a guy and then you get like terrorized and you literally just kill yourself.
Or they banned it themselves.
They did? Oh, sorry, my bad. Sorry. I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, they could have had the Rupture swap.
Rupture swap, of course. Drum.
No, he's just chilling.
Yeah,
he's not into it right now.
Wait.
He's relaxing, dude. He's trying to gather his strength for the match, okay? Can you leave him alone?
So we've got the Ogre one side.
He's not feeling too happy. He just lost.
We need the Earthshaker on the other side.
He didn't lose.
Well, his team did. You know, he just got picked by the losing team. How happy do you think he's feeling right now?
Oh, now he's gone.
There we go.
He likes the ET. He's like, yeah, I can take that guy.
So it's any the outer time on the other side, right?
Puts Venge into a core roll. That's how Secret ran it last time they played it.
And last time it was an Aghanims for the core bench too, I believe, eventually. Yeah. Which was very interesting too.
There for the Tony.
Tiny.
I feel like that's probably going to wind up being Snake King's hero. Another sort of lane hero that can play with the Dark Willow very well.
Yeah, Tiny Dark Willow is very strong. And then, of course, the Ogre plus anyone is also very strong lane. This time they have very strong pick off. Like if they ever get behind, they have a way back into the game.
I think Secret are dominating in terms of team fight right now, though. Very scary.
Yeah, you don't want to team fight them. You want to pick them off. You want to split push them.
Control of the Roche Pit is also great for them, and they're going to go for the Clinks right after that too to help secure it.
One of the best heroes against Tiny too. Abuses low armor.
Medallion, Clinks, they can get a Roche very quickly with the Vengeful Spirit here.
Vengeful Spirit, Elder Titan, Klings, Desolator potentially. They have a lot of minus armor.
How do you think
Tiny?
How do you think Secret want to lane this? So like they have to kind of at least have an idea of their lane since they are picking next anyways.
Well, it's definitely the core Venge, which has been run in the offlane as well as in the safe lane, and then the Klings can go pretty much anywhere. So we'll have to just like see what they pick last. Their first pick, right?
Yeah.
I kind of like
just a draft.
I kind of like Venge and almost ET is like a bully lane.
Yeah, it's very strong. The dual lane is very strong. But Ogre is one of the best against it to absorb the pressure, so they already have a good answer to that.
Sometimes it feels like you can just ignore him, though. You know? You
With the
just, like,
ogre?
you just like run past him towards that carry, though.
Yeah.
Especially in like the first early levels.
It's a bit scary if he has like an AWP Venom or something.
Yeah.
Because it's like kind of clubs you down.
But it's SVG.
It is SVG.
That's like 2 centuries.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Gotta buy all those wards and consumables for my cores. I'm gonna share clarity with you. What is Secret looking for? They need some kind of...
Do they want a mid one hero? We saw him play Clinks last game, but traditionally, you know, this is where maybe a mid one hero would come out.
But VGJ Storm will almost guaranteed counter it.
Yep.
It's gonna be rough for them.
What's the...
Like a DK maybe? Something more general, something more safe.
I mean, there's... I guess if you ban like the Husker type counter picks, that you can get away with that.
You're like,
I'd rather see them go flashy. Get like an Invoker for mid one or something.
Arc Warden. Oh no,
No,
it's got
no.
banned. Never mind. No Arc Warden.
You like the Invoker or you don't, Trent?
no.
Hey, okay. Ban a TA or something?
Ban TA, pick Invoker?
Yeah, it's... I think it fits a lot of their weaknesses. Ban Brood, pick Invoker? Sure, why not?
Ban anything, pick Invoker.
Well, the nice thing is, I guess you could put Invoker side lane and Clinks mid against the TA as well, if that does happen. Invoker side lane, not great, but...
Don't worry,
I mean, now there's Meepo side lane, and they just won that, so.
I'm an expert at Invoker side, and I'll give him some tips.
Oh, perfect.
just run off the panel in the booth quickly.
We've seen a few Ember games.
Yeah.
For mid one.
Ember's good.
To think about here.
Yeah, the catch is not incredible overall right now.
Ember's good. Storm is acceptable. But I would really like to see an Invoker. I mean, it's not great.
Well, get your stamp of approval there.
It's not great, but it's acceptable.
Let's get the Farmers Union stamp out.
The black stamp of approval.
But yeah, I think Invoker is solid.
So it gives them some more team fight, and they have this global. The other thing they also have is like a really hard initiation. Like the swap isn't really the way you want to start every single fight. So maybe you want something to lead the silencer in. TB though, you go hard carry. They say.
So it's Clinks mid again.
Clinks
Feels more like the pressure itself will be their initiation. So we just approach up to your tower.
I mean,
very strong.
Terrorblade destroys Tiny and Mirana cores as soon as it gets to BKB. So I really like the pick. It's more, can they survive the lanes or not?
And also the last pick, because 10th pick of the draft, VGJ Storm chose second pick. So Secret got to choose Radiant.
Don't pick TA. Don't pick TA against the Clinks. That's what we learned.
Or against TB, I would say. Doesn't sound great. This is where you'd normally see like the Zeus or Tinker counter pick all the time.
Tinker.
Those are the
Possibly
two common
Storm,
ones.
but probably not. Sounds already. Not the best lane against Clinks. But Clinks middle is really strong if you don't pick a very strong hero against it, like a Wind Ranger or something like that. Like he dominates a lot of the conventional heroes.
Do you have any others that you'd like to see versus the Clinks in particular?
Does the Spectre work here?
They try and send them around.
Or maybe Tiny Mid could
They
also
can easily
work.
swap the lanes, yeah.
But Tiny Mid gets harassed so hard by Clinks. Like you hit him for like 90 every time. It's very hard. You need to pick like a hard counter to Clinks in the lane to really shut him down.
Do you think that has to be the focus?
I mean, if they want to have a good lane against the Clinks. I don't know what their focus right now is, what lane they want to focus on. But if they don't address this Clinks, the mid one's going to go on a hunt again.
Rezo seems like he's not quite sure either.
Yeah, I mean, it's very tough because they have like a couple of weaknesses to fix, and they have a lot of heroes to do that in the mid lane, but Clinks dominates most of these heroes.
He's talking. I wonder if that means it's likely Rezo's hero, if they want to put the Mirana mid.
Seems that way, yeah.
Or at least put Mirana on your war, so.
Yeah. I think that's pretty likely what they're going to try and do.
Medusa.
It's going to be Medusa 10th pick for VGJ.
Now that is an anchor hero right there.
Well,
If you don't know lose, you go Medusa.
they're all in with the Medusa this time around. VGJ Storm. Quick final thoughts from you, gents. Scott?
Medusa versus TB.
They're playing, we're going to be in for a late game. Yeah, TB Medusa. Buckle in, get your snacks, get your drinks, and be ready for a long game, perhaps.
I personally give the edge to TB because of Venge. The Venge aura is just going to be too much for them, I think.
All right. Very quickly, Trent.
Give it to the Medusa, VJ Storm.
All right. Let's catch up with Casey, who's waiting just outside the booth with Jack.
Hi, Jack.
How's it going, Casey?
Really good.
Yeah, we're excited. It backs up against the wall. You know, we've been in this position a few times. I'm sure we'll come through.
The crowd seemed to really like that last pick. Talk about the draft, and I'm also curious how surprised you were about the Meepo pick in the first game.
We had some idea that it was coming. We thought we could play against it, but in these games of Dota, you know, sometimes lanes don't go well, and you end up in a rough position very quickly. Obviously, they're a very good team, so it happens. We were ready, but we lost game 1, so it's fine.
Feel a little bit more confident about this draft?
Yeah, I think so. I think we have a lot of options. We have something that gives us a good late game as well.
What did you say to your team back there to kind of motivate them coming back into this now?
There wasn't too much about you know, this game or the situation. They're aware of that, but it's just about adjustments for this game. Just make sure we get a good game of Dota out, and that's all we can ask for.
Best of luck, Jack. Thank you.
Thanks, Casey.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Casey. Thanks, Jack. Let's hand you over to our commentary team. The game is almost underway. Capitalist and Blitz will bring you game number 2.
Well, we heard Jack's thoughts about game number 1. They said maybe they did expect the meatball, but boy, they were not prepared for it enough, apparently. They're more prepared in game 2 because they've got a last pick Medusa, looking to be able to counterpick the Terrorblade. Now Black, we actually heard him because of the Vengeful Spirit. He's sticking with the Terrorblade. Trent's on the Now, after game 1, you said you wanted a couple things. You wanted more catch out of VGJ Storm. And we definitely got that, right? Now with a Tiny as well as a Dark Willow, you've got a lot of team fights. You've got a lot of catch there as well. Are you just overall happier with VGJ Storm's lineup, even though you sided with Secret in this game?
Yeah, I think so. I think their lanes are going to go a lot better than they did in game 1. And I think that's been part of the problem. If you have a rough laning phase in this meta, you almost always just lose the game. Like if you lose 2 out of 3, God forbid 3 out of 3 lanes, and the game just feels like it's kind of over, and you can't really come back into it. Which is why I think VP is struggling a little bit more than they used to, just because they're having a hard time figuring out what sort of lanes that they want.
Seems like everybody's putting a lot more emphasis into getting at least one really strong laning phase for one of their cores. We're going to have MSS and Stinking. Looks like they're going to be going into the Terrorblade lane. So they've got a decent amount of magic damage. They've got some AoE clear as well to be able to deal with illusions. So this should be a good way to be able to put a lot of pressure onto Ace. But of course, Secret are always trying to give the mid-1 matchup the best possible situation. And he's going to be Clinks into a Medusa. How do you think that goes?
I haven't really been a part of the Clinks meta, but most of the time I think Clinks trades out pretty evenly or favorably compared to most heroes, as you are going to get harassed up creep wave, as you're going to try lane up here with the core Venge.
Forced to get leap level 1, doesn't feel great. Puppey will now TP down to the bottom lane, make sure Ace isn't alone. Creep wave so close to the tower. Try and challenge that early. Mid-1 doing the same thing he did last time around, feeling like he's stronger with the Searing Arrows. Will push back against the opposing enemy mid with his first round.
And at least this time he can trade because he's got better range.
Yeah.
And he has a nuke to hit back with. That's why mid-1 is being a little bit more scared here. He's going to bring himself a salve at Rezo. A little bit more healthy in this mid lane so far, and already up to 4 CS. Much better overall for VGJ Storm than in game 1.
2-man Arcane Curse. Puppey is going to have to just be a constant threat, try and put a lot of damage onto these two, so the Terrorblade, when he's back in melee form, will not have to worry about that top lane. It's where we're going to have our first blood. SVG managed to pick it up onto Yapzor, and Fada's even taken a lot of damage in return. Looks like they tried to go for Yuar, but were just a little bit shy in damage.
Yuar not even leveling the arrow level 1, going for the Storm, but doesn't have a salve. Courier is already headed towards mid. Rezo, he's geared up for the regen battle as the stun flies onto the Ogre.
He has so much extra damage, they might just be able to beat down SVG. Fortunately, the Ogre is super tanky, has a lot of starting armor. So he seems to be the perfect hero to match up against that Elder Titan, who's usually such a lane dominator, as he's able to get that Spirit back. Mid-1.
Oh,
he didn't actually pop the strafe there, takes that full Mystic Snake damage.
I don't think he expected to get hit by it.
Yeah.
There was some range between him and the creep, and Rezo is well prepared for this mid matchup. He brought himself extra regen in anticipation of his other lanes being hurt.
And a regen too. That is an excellent pickup. Now he's going to receive the Arcane Curse. So there goes all that regen. Puppey just seems to be the perfect place.
Perfect time.
How do you imagine this bottom lane should go for Ace? He's going to be threatened, but he seems to be doing really well in CS so far through that first metamorphosis.
I mean, at least through the first few levels, I think he's going to be okay. Once he has to play more melee range, it's going to get scary for him as
Fada being beaten by SVG. They have double lead. Starstorm goes out. Fada has the fairy fire, but it's not enough to keep him alive. Now it's going to be Yawar trying to outrun Yapzor, but he's still going to die. Yapzor just continues to beat the heroes down. Tries to go for the deny. SVG looks to be able to interrupt that one. Does manage to get the range creep there, but he takes a lot of damage in return. Meanwhile, mid lane, mid one almost dies again to Resolution. This mid Medusa is proving to be a potent matchup against the Clinks.
And it's because he brought a lot of extra regen. He's ready for these fights, whereas mid one, you see that he's waiting for his courier, so he can't really contest the lane the same way that he was against the TA. Just because the TA can't fight back, but Rezo on this Dusa can.
A stomp onto SVG. And turn around. They are going to try and threaten Yapzor to make sure he just can't die for SVG. It's going to be a close call, but thanks to the Minus Armor, they do get that kill. Now Yapzor is going to turn around. Yawar is going to drop dangerously low. The magic stick isn't quite enough. The Spirit picks up the double kill, and Yapzor will survive bottom lane. Then managed to get the Avalanche in to be able to finish off the Silencer, but Ace, with his Metamorphosis and the low armor onto the Tiny's throw, a lot of damage out there, but can't get a kill in return unless MSS, no. MSS gets back to the tower and has the healing cell.
3-3 is Rezo. Now down a little bit in regen, has to wait for the next set. This is what mid lane often comes down to, who's going to ferry themselves more regen. It hurts your side lanes, which is why you want to pack a little bit extra, but much better than last game.
Mid one 20-7. So even if he got a little close to death a couple times, still is being the superior. In the trade out in CS, Snake King managed to find a haste rune, it seems, filled up the bottom, got his full regen. And now that there's no Metamorphosis for Ace, VGJ Storm just look to be able to control the lane and limit the amount of CS that Ace can get.
Snake King. They go on, the Bramble lands at bottom lane, the toss back.
Oh, that is a beautiful toss back. The Shadow Realm shot is going to be enough magic damage. Snake King will survive through the Arcane Curse, and it's 5 minutes in, so they can go ahead and pick up the Bounty Rune and heal off the Shrine. Meanwhile, top lane SVG got caught by the Fada Yapzor deadly duo once again. Magic Missile into the Stomp.
Link's now starting to win out. So much damage with the 3 levels of the Searing Arrows, and he's got a Blight Stone. No hero really wants to trade into that. Is the Dusa going to heal up? Still a competent lane for Resolution. Not doing bad whatsoever.
And it is a big difference, right? Like, the Clinks may be able to beat the Dusa back, but what was really important was he took that mid-tower so quickly, right?
Yeah. You just need a hero that can spam out, save the tower. Oftentimes you see heroes like Lina against it just because you can just repeatedly Dragon Slave the wave, keep it alive. Once this catapult comes in, Resolution will just pull back. It's hard to get ganked as this Medusa as well.
Bottom lane, they do have the Curse Crown and actually hit onto Ace as well. Bramble's locked in. Puppey should be falling here. They need one more swing. That's it. Now it's a question whether or not Snake King will survive. He's actually going to go for MSS instead, and it's an easier kill to get with a Fairy Fire, keeping him alive, but it's not good enough. He will tick out to the Arcane Curse. They trade 1-for-1 in supports, but it was the Metamorphosis used there. Magic Missile into a Stomp. Yawar leaps it off. Fada. Maybe he puts himself a little bit too far. SVG gets a lot of damage in return. Just keeps on going with the arrow coming in. Yapzor is going to intercept that one to make sure Fada is going to be bursted down here. Just constant fighting between the two side lanes.
But it's hard for VGJ Storm to keep up in this lane because this Tranquil Boots Elder Titan can continue to just beat back. He's going to win the regen war as they're going to smoke head towards mid.
Okay, you said the Deuce says hard to gank. Well, Secret agrees. That's why they're going to bring all 3 heroes into this mid lane.
Rezo, if you go down onto the low ground, you're going to get stunned up by Fada. Here we go.
And he doesn't have his ultimate. He's already out of mana. It is actually a pretty fast kill now. He did have the Mystic Snake bouncing back to him, gave him a lot of mana, but obviously with such an overwhelming gank from Team Secret, they do manage to kill that mid, and as a result, we'll be able to put more and more pressure on that mid tower. And again, goes back to this sort of formula that you were talking about for Team Secret and how much they value taking this mid tier 1 and allowing mid 1 to rotate.
Yeah, but mid 1 is low, so he's going to get sent back. He's going to go to the Shrine with the rest of his team. This is going to reset things a little bit as Storm. They need to do a better job of protecting this mid area, like you said. you're going to see a similar game where mid one just heads towards his top lane as soon as he grabs that mid tower. Can't let that happen because then your Mirana has no way of getting back into the game as we saw game number 1.
MSS trying to keep Ace from being able to farm neutrals. The lane, they're making sure the lane equilibrium is very much in their favor. That Ace would have to tip out really far forward, and the Tiny, it's level 5. A lot of firepower packing there.
I'd like to see them just go for it again. Smoke up.
Nice arrow combination there. SVG was hiding out in the jungle for quite some time before he finally found the opportunity to get Fada. Free kill there. Seeing Team Secret are still slightly ahead in net worth. It's a very even score, 6-6. Now, the CS score is very favorable for the top 2. We've got our Klinks at 45-10 and Ace, who's doing it 38-10, despite all the pressure that's being put on him from the Tiny and the Dark Willow.
And Willow already level 5. They're going to try to enable MSS, get a little bit crazier in this game.
So we could see kind of a difference here of ideas. It's VGJ Storm, they instead are putting a lot of pressure on being able to take the safe lane tower, and then I assume they're going to utilize that space to try and rotate on mid. Last word, the silence goes down. Dark Willow not able to protect himself with the Shadow Realm. Fortunately, Snaking's there with the Avalanche.
One, switching things up, going to this bottom lane instead. That's where the pressure comes in. And Ace, he's going to get this mid lane area. He's going to be able to farm Ancients. This is why they put such a premium on taking this mid tower.
Smart. Feels like everything Team Secret does in this game. Very well planned out by them. Snaking, running forward, forcing mid one.
One thing just leads to another. If they can take this bottom tower fight and keep it alive for as long as possible, it's going to make it so that Snaking has a harder time rotating himself, which is what they want. They want him to stay down here.
Right.
Away from their Terrorblade at all times.
This death-pacted Klinks is proving to be really tough to break through. Much like Fada and his Necrophos in that game 1.
They might just smoke into the Ancients, drop a ward down so that they can see Rezo under the Shrine. This timing would be pretty good here, as it's going to be with the 10-minute rune. Mid one walks up, sees MSS.
Need to try and force him into the Shadow Realm somehow. They try and go for the quick burst of damage, but Shadow Realm TP's out.
Illusion.
Not the hero that they wanted to run into. I think they were hoping that Snaking might wander in that area, try to pick up the bounty rune, but he instead went for their own.
Warms apparently got some neutrals to be able to farm, as well as a lane that has been kind of freeform since that very heavy smoke rotation into the mid. Duar's had plenty of time to be able to chill out. VGJ Storm are playing heavily off of jungle right now. His Resolution's not even showing himself in mid. After his tier 1 tower dying, he feels like it's too risky to be that far forward. Seems like everyone in VGJ Storm is a bit scared, but this time around it feels like they're still keeping pace farming-wise.
Yeah, definitely. And it's because they're able to pressure the lanes. They forced Ace out.
Just Silencer now chilling against the Tiny in that bottom lane. The pressure is coming in from mid 1 in this top lane. MSS.
Brambles laid out.
Nice. Brambles is able to land on the Fada. The arrow's not going to land. The Curse Crown is not going to hit on everybody, though. Just going to be the Vengeful Spirit. They're going to turn and fight now with MSS. No longer have the Shadow Realm. Mid one quickly takes him out. Next target is going to be the Mirana, who already left out of range there and has another leap charge ready to go. So VGJ Storm, maybe an ill-advised attempt at a fight there.
They do take bottom tower for their efforts, and Puppey has no detection.
Snaking trying to slip away, is going to go for the kill onto Puppey. You're tossing him out of the air, gets the kill. Now we'll try and outrun Ace. Meanwhile, the top lane, they are going to go for the kill. Mid one, pumping damage into the Ogre Magi. The Sum comes out. That is enough to get 1 kill. Throw some damage onto the Mirana. He's out of leap charges. He does have many magic wand charges to be able to heal up, so he won't die here today. But VGJ Storm continue to get picked up in this top lane. Snaking comes back. Tosses Ace into the Siege Wagon. They do have the Dark Will. The Terroride's going to come out, but it's a bit too late. The Thunder was already thrown down. They're going to have to try and kill him from full HP once again with the Curse Crown and so much magic damage from Ace. With the Bedlam coming in, they do manage to pick up the kill. Great setup by VGJ Storm.
That's what I'm talking about. Get MSS involved as early as possible. Get him some XP. He's already level 7, doing much better than he did last game at just being active. And Vada not having as good of a laning phase as he did last game. Snake King being a lot more involved too. He's going to go Shadowblade first so he can put pressure on this Terrorblade. I like what they're doing. It gives you more damage to be able to one-shot combo the TV. It allows you to invade the jungle for free too. But look at the ward vision that Secret have set up. They are trying so hard to protect their own jungle so that Ace can farm up Ancients.
Tier 1 falling fast, straight activated, arrow. Range creep will tank that instead, and Yawar will have to give up on trying to protect that tier 1 or even denying it. Mid 1 controls the lane. VGJ Storm, though, aren't going to use that space. After they took that tier 1 bottom lane, they're going to wrap into mid. Take the mid tier 1 tower in return. They managed to run into Terror.
They're going to run into Ace here. He has no Sunder.
Ace is going to be stunned up, but they don't have the immediate follow-up. Snake King and MSS are a bit too far away, and they need those disables. They want to bring down the Terrorblade.
You need to just try to gank anybody that he can, but Rezo, after he takes his mid tower, just immediately going to go into his own jungle, farm up. He's already level 12. He hasn't had a rotate whatsoever. This Dusa not nearly as mobile, but she will win the farm war. And they put so much pressure on Ace. And this is the issue of losing this bottom area. You're going to get relegated into farming this. What I'd like to see Storm do is invade this jungle shrine area, get a ward down, either here or here, and start to just continue to play aggressively. Allow your Dusa to get farmed. So you've got this Tiny with Shadowblade early on. He can just kill by himself.
Yeah, do you like this choice of the Shadowblade over the Blink Dagger in this game?
Yeah, because I think it allows you to one-shot the TV without vision. You can just walk through the jungle, which is what he wants to do. He doesn't know where the vision is. You can get the one hit off, stun combo.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Almost
attack.
always going to be a kill, especially when he just has this Yasha build coming up.
Shadowblade lets you play against other Invis heroes a little bit better as well, right?
Yeah. It makes it so that when you blink in, Puppy doesn't just get the opportunity to get Global Silence off.
Yeah.
Because if you don't get your combo, like if you get interrupted mid-combo by the Silencer, he'll just Sunder, it'll be a turnaround kill instead.
Vada's going to show himself. He does have the ET behind him. Global Silence at ready, so they were kind of trying to provoke a response there from VGJ Storm. Snake King really wanted to go for a fight because not only is this the first reveal of the Shadowblade, but also the haste rune that he has in his bottle. So it feels like
the 15-minute rune. This is such a good timing if they go the long way. Snake King.
Spirit. And Vada. He's going to be the first one. They're just going to pop him really quickly. The Global Silence does go down, though. Vada will survive for quite some time. And Snake King, he's coming in from the left-hand side, though, with that haste rune. Chooses not to try and engage into Team Secret. Apparently, Secret holding that high ground meant that they were too scared to go into it. So VGJ Storm still managed to get most of the bounty runes.
They got all four.
All four.
So not even that bad.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
That win probability? I mean, I've agreed with most of Dota. Do you agree with this one?
That TB is going to still carry this game. They don't think that Storm is far enough ahead right now. Is every single time I doubt it.
Running into the sentries, Dota Plus. It might just be right here. Snake King is going to be caught. The Avalanche won't save him. Mid one picks up the killing spree. Never should have doubted it.
Going to deal with this bottom lane. Always has the option of getting out. They have that many AoE stun. Really only the ET to work with.
Yeah.
As long as MSS is careful, should almost always be able to get out as VG just going for the stacks for Rezo. Trying to make this Dusa as strong as possible.
So it seems like they grabbed the Shadowblade. They weren't able to actually invade and pick off Team Secret. So now I'm going to turn it to Team Secret's time. When do you think they are going to be the ones taking over the game? Because you said the Dusa is like the heavy hitter late game. You can't let it dwindle out a little bit too far, right?
I think you just allow your TB to get 6 slotted. Let him get a BKB, let him get SNY.
Okay.
Once he gets farmed, fight ready, then you can start to get online. But you can take all these tier 1 towers and maybe even threaten Roshan.
Take the offlane tower for free. UR's trying to do the same at the top lane, but Ace is always able to throw his illusions, collect the creep wave, prevent any tower damage.
And Secret have done an excellent job, by the way, of making sure that Snake King doesn't get into the...
Yeah.
They place sentries everywhere, they place wards everywhere, they've protected their own jungle, so Snake King can't just do his Shadowblade shenanigans. Ever since he's picked this item up, they haven't been able to get anything going.
And Tiny's definitely a hero who relies on being able to get hero kills to stay relevant later on in the game, right?
Yeah. And if you're Tiny in this game, you want to just follow around this Terrorblade, scare him at all times. And Ace is going relatively uncontested, and that's just the pure ward vision that they put out. Everywhere that they placed an observer ward, they placed a sentry to pair with it, so snaking can't really go undetected on this side of the map, which is why Ace is playing this north side. He's done a very good job of adjusting to the type of game that this is. He sees that Shadowblade item pickup.
Which is exactly where you wanted VGJ Storm to get some vision, right?
Yes, I wanted them to be able to smoke, drop a ward down here. That's what LGD did so well against Team Liquid yesterday.
Yeah.
When they played against the Alchemists, they just shut them out. But the warding game, it's not the same.
VGJ Storm. Still confident in their Deuce. They should be. Sitting 15 net worth ahead of the Terrorblade right. And VGJ Storm don't seem, what I can respect out of them is that while if I was snaking in that situation, I hate screwing everything, I would have run in. You know, I would have tried to force some action. But VGJ Storm, when met with serious response from Secret, where they had 4 heroes on the high ground, they actually just backed up. They said, this isn't the right fight to take. Should be confident in being able to draw out the game still. No matter what Dota Plus says. Resolution going to be the recipient of a smoke gank here. Global Silence into the swamp. Perfect setup. Mana's gone. Nobody behind him. MSS, he was somewhere nearby, but of course couldn't terrorize with that Global Silence still in hand.
They've got Vlad's. This is too strong for them, and this is what I feared, is that Deuce is still going to go down very easily.
Yeah.
Vada's going to be such a good support type of core. He builds just into the auras. You've got ET, who I think is very good in this game. Against the Dusa, whatever damage you lack, ET and Bench, they're gonna work it both ways.
Look at that Terrorblade's damage, man. He's sitting next to the Vengeful Spirit. He has almost 350 damage a shot.
The Aptor gets in close with that natural order. It's gonna be even worse.
Yeah.
They've just got such a good pairing in this ET and Bench. A lot of negative armor, lots of different ways to get their damage out. Storm, they don't have the same way to start fights anymore, because snaking, he went for this ganking build rather than going for the straight 5-on-5 initiation, that he needs to farm out that blink.
Felt like Terrorblade fell out of favor heading into this TI, and now he's coming back sort of halfway through. Why do you think that is?
I think he represents a real threat at all times. He still fights very well. I think he's good against a lot of these cores, these single target cores. He punishes very hard. And I think it fits Secret style, having this all-encompassing, we're going to win with this hero once he hits a certain point.
Yeah.
I think they really like having the absolute late game on their side.
And that's why VGJ Storm tried to take that away with the Deuce last pick, but it's looking grim for them as they once had a decent net worth lead. It keeps on drifting upwards and upwards. Now it's only 1,000 gold lead, more and more towers going away, less and less map control available.
Have you seen Yawar or this Tiny really get involved in any kills in the last 10 minutes?
It's been a pretty static game all around. Just everyone farming away.
That means they believe that they're going to win the late game.
Yeah.
I can't see any other reason why they would just allow the game pace to be slowed down like this one. They're going to know about the sword?
So a smoke gank dodged by mid one. Positioning on point once again. Yawar will finish up a Manta. So, of course, all of VGJ Storm is still keeping up an item. Snake King may not have become that big dominant force that he really wanted to off of hero kills. Resolution. Can't get picked off again, though. There goes another Silence. Again, the swap into this combination is so deadly, and they just don't have enough heroes to be able to protect Resolution. They do have the Terrorize, but it's too late. He's already dead. That's going to be the team fight spell wasted. They do have the arrow coming in onto Fada, trying to burst him down, but a Sunder actually from Ace. That is a brave play, especially with the Curse Crown on him, but with mid one coming in from behind his reinforcements, Yawar, good play. Manta dodging, Avalanche coming in. A big time hit. Actually finished off the Vengeful Spirit. Almost got Silencer as well, but snaking. He tries to get out instead of going for the kill. Puppey will finally die, thanks to the Manta as well as the Ignite from SVG. Still a bad fight for VGJ Storm, even as they collect a couple heroes here and there. It is the Dusa dying at the very start of it, just like last time, that precipitates their downfall in Team Secret. Now going to be able to push into the high ground very early.
They're doing such a good job of pairing it. Whenever they jump on that Dusa, they immediately pop the Global Silence so that she can't use her Stone Gaze. Makes it really easy for them to get on top of her. She's not that tanky without the ability to use that spell. And the rest of the team, there's no save on their side. So once she gets gone on, she's kind of on her own here. As you see Rezo, the swap into stun, the Global Silence popped. There's just so much damage that gets laid out.
Terrorized just a bit too late. I mean, they missed the Earth Splitter too. There was actually so much damage that was still on the table. We saw from last time. Cute play by Ace there, centering his ally to making sure that Fada is still in fighting shape, and you could see it actually prevents Yawar from getting too aggressive.
Yusa just has to be more careful. I feel like Rezo's way overestimating his strength right now.
Stun onto the silencer with the arrow, instantly out, but it's a bit too late. Puppy is able to get away. They have the Arcane Curse onto 3. Mid one comes in, will manage to take apart SVG. Dark Willow's going to be up next. Already has a reflection on him, slowing him down with no Shadow Realm for one more second. Finally gets it off, has a TP, but now SVG actually comes in with Snaking, managed to get a huge avalanche combination. Mid one's being threatened, mid one's already dead. It is now VGJ Storm's time to be able to strike. Ace comes back, Earth Splitter's going to whiff. He does manage to get the Dark Willow, trying to run him down. He has the Sunder. They need to be able to keep control on him, and nice toss. Will manage to get the stomp at the back line to be able to finish off the Mirana, but Snake King, he wants revenge. Will be able to catch Yapzor with the avalanche. Resolution slowly poking at him bit by bit. Yapzor going to be trying to juke his way through the trees while Fada keeps pace. They're instead going to turn onto Fada and try and kill him. Fada's pretty tanky though, turns around, does spot them both, and he has the swap ready to go. They're just trying to kite VGJ Storm back and forth. They jump in, trying to go for Puppy. The Global Silence laid out. They do have a stomp. They're going to be able to jump onto this Dusa. Might be able to finish him off, but they don't have a magic missile. Fada is out of mana, so Snake King just stays by Resolution's side to make sure he can get back to safety. That it was, in the end, a 3-for-3 trade-off there. A slight advantage to VGJ Storm just because Team Secret had the lead to begin with. Plus, they got very important kills, both Ace and Mid One.
Yeah, but Ace picks up his full Scotty at the end of that. Oh, didn't have any of it with him. Imagine how different that fight looks with that on him.
Regeneration.
That's why they were a little bit split apart. They were waiting for that Scotty. And that last 20 seconds were Secret. They were able to save each other, constantly play Ring Around the Rosie.
Yeah.
Didn't allow Snake King to focus fire any of them, really. They took turns taking up that damage, using his cooldowns. As Rezo starting to get involved a little bit more, trying to get that Manta style. They just need more ways to make it annoying for this Terrorblade to enter the fight, make it harder for him to know which hero to sunder.
And he almost has that level 20 Snaking. Oh, thinks away. Mid one
be
trying to
careful,
keep
Fada.
him.
He's got the swap.
Swap back, and will be able to get the stun, but at the same time, the Silencer's going to be caught. He has to give up on that. Curse Crown hits on 3. Arrow going to nail an illusion there.
They're going to hold the high ground.
They're going to play for the high ground. Terrorize going to come in, hits on both of the cores, but they don't have any catch. They actually have no way to be able to stop these heroes from just running away. A buyback from the Tiny. Ooh. They needed him in the fight as soon as they hit that Terrorize. Otherwise, just a wasted ability and a reset.
That was way too late. I see what Snake King was going for. He thought that the fight might extend for a little bit longer, maybe hoping that Ace pops the meta, tries to turn that fight. But Secret just run away. They can just wait for the next Roshan too if they want.
Yeah.
They've got so much map control, taking out all these tier 2 towers. Every single one of them is theirs to take. The vision game is going to play out in their favor too.
VGJ Storm will have that Manta soon, plus the level 20 talent. Big increase in mana and survivability for the Medusa. We already saw the Terrorblade hit his big spike with the Eye of Scotty, and he's actually closing in on a BKB already. Same goes with Midwan, who's just shy of about 250 gold away. So we are definitely going to have some big spikes for Team Secrets, and I'm sure they're going to be very enthusiastic about starting another fight here. Double damage rune picked up by Midwan. SVG not able to get there in time.
Top lane, you are going to just barely get out of there. VGJ, they're going to play around this bottom area. This is where their tier 2 is. They don't have the best vision on the map as mid lane, mid one. Per play with the DD rune.
Just lucky that Elder Titan wasn't in the neighborhood. They're only AoE stun to be able to stop a play like that. Resolution. He's a bit by himself. The rest of his team, I think they just smoked up and are going to back him up now. Resolution's been the target of so many of these ganks. VGJ Storm's going to try and use him as bait here. Now the smoke's going to pop, Snaking. And they managed to get the leading stun off onto Fada. They're also trying to go on a mid one, but didn't get the opportunity to get a stun out. Fada goes for the swap away on Yapzor with the ult splitter out. Yapzor is going to get gone on here. They managed to get mid one. They're trying to fight him down. Fada, he's going to just die of physical damage. He thought the Terrorize was going to be enough, but now the Terrorize into the Stone Games. What a beautiful combination. VGJ Storm! This is finally them in the game. They are finally able to take a big team fight convincingly and will push for some objectives.
1.5 minutes for the Roshan to come up. VGJ Storm, their 2 range course hits this so fast. Maybe they can even force the buyback by going for the high ground here. They might just do that. They're still quite healthy on their heroes. The buyback flies in from Ace. This is going to delay his BKB further. And what a way to strike back. The team fight was so good by them. And Ace, he's just not really able to do anything. Without the BKB, you see it over the top. He tries to come in. Fada, once he gets initiated on Yapzor, throws his life in.
I thought that was so bad when they were splitting their damage so much, but then they just all turn on mid one. He thought the BKB would allow him to take on Snake King, and it doesn't work at all.
He got stunned up, was CC'd for so long, terrorized into the Stone Gaze.
Get the wards, that's all you can do, SVG. He gives up his life to claim an Observer Ward. 18-16, VGJ Storm now have a 3,000 gold lead. Curious on our win probability here for Dota Plus, still favoring Team Secret, I believe.
And Secret, I feel like it favors them even more after that fight. But if Secret, they can take the next Roshan, they really need it on Ace.
Yeah.
He's so susceptible to dying without that BKB. I felt like that should have been his item choice after the Scotty. He needs a way to get his damage out. It's not like he needs more damage or more survivability in the form of HP.
The Aghanim Scepter is being built by Fada.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I was a big fan of that in the we saw a game, yeah.
Yapzor when he played it.
Yeah. I was a big fan of that. That actually looked really cool. Just being able to constantly throw your life in there, swap somebody offensively in, and not really care too much if you die. Just the threat of that much catch. See whether or not the core Vengeful Spirit's going to be effective with it.
He doesn't really have to deal damage in this one. It's just about saving Ace's life. You can't really let Fada get initiated on either. He has to sort of switch gears and allow this Terrorblade to be the one true core in this game. Once he used the swap onto Yapzor, Yapzor also needs to play back. Yeah. You saw when he just got initiated on like that, it was so hard for him to do anything.
Pick off on Puppey, pretty easy, but at the same time, mid one is going to be able to slow down Snake King. The arrow combination with the Terrorize coming in. Fada is able to save him with the swap. Now Ace going to pop the Metamorphosis and try and push back these heroes. SVG, he'll be the one to die here. Now the Bramble's catching some of these. The Curse Crown placed on him. Secret will back up. So thankfully, Fada saves the day there just in time.
The BKB now for Ace. He did pop the meta for that.
And if you're VGJ Storm, you just reset until Metamorphosis is down and maybe you can take Roshan, right?
Might think about this.
Or he's gonna pop it. Mid one, not gonna be hit by the Avalanche. Snake King whiffs it there. They try and get a Brambles onto mid one, but he's away into the trees. They give up chase.
Could have been huge, but Snake King doesn't land the stun that he needs to. The rest of Secret coming up here. The meta's about to fade. Just the BKB, I don't think they want to fight with their Terrorblade right now.
The BKB and the Manta. Don't think Team Secret can really target that Medusa anymore.
Gonna go for the smoke.
It's a perfect
teams, they want to play around this Roshan area. They know there's no meta. Even with the BKB, they should feel confident about taking the fight. They've got a BKB of their own on the Rezo. They're going to make their way through the jungle.
No buyback, no Metamorphosis. A perfect opportunity for VGJ Storm to take the advantage, but an instant global silence goes out. Now it's going to be Snake King already dead in the fight as he tried to make the initiation. Resolution comes in with a Stone Gaze. Team Secret look the other way, now ready to jump back in. The arrow misses onto Fada, looking for some of these heroes. Mid one is hoping to slow him down. Diffuser Blade up in 1 second time. A lot blown there by VGJ Storm. They were so anxious to start a fight, they thought, if we can get a good initiation here, this could just be a free Roshan, potentially a lane of Rax as well. But they try and jump on a silencer, and Puppey's just too fast.
Instantly gets the global off. That ends any sort of fight. Rezo storms forward with his ult into the BKB. The good news to him is that Ace also popped his BKB and panicked. Thought that there was going to be a bigger fight.
Whoa, swap in. Hello, you are. He's got one leap charge to be able to get out of here. Moonlight Shadow's going to be popped. Yapzor, hoping to be able to keep pace here. Does have plenty of sentries to lay down. You are.
It almost got dust.
Mid one.
Does he guess correctly?
No, he doesn't gonna go for it. Resolution and SVG turn around, magic with the sun. Terrorize not gonna be there in time. BKB activated by mid one. Turns and fights. All VGJ Storm wants to do here is be able to reset. They forced that magic immunity out of mid one. And now, well, they still have to worry about the metamorphosis now that it's back up.
Really trigger happy on those BKBs.
Both teams are super afraid of losing this fight, right? Because if you lose the fight, it means Roshan or buybacks, one or the other.
Yeah, and they both have cores that heavily rely on getting that Aegis. The Terrorblade just so he doesn't get jumped. The cheese would be quite nice on them too.
Yeah.
The Storm, they're just gonna go for this anyways. Lay the arrow in, Rezo's gonna come forward, but all 5 heroes on the side of Secret.
You can see the path drawn by Snaking.
I think it's easier though for Storm to keep control of this area because they can just keep using Mantas.
Yeah. So VGJ Storm almost looks like they want to try and take that offlane tower so they can kind of hold that high ground area by the secret shop. They're going to be met with resistance though.
Ace, he's got everything back up. A meta, still a 9-second BKB, very strong. Rezo gonna get hit by that sleep bottom, walking forward.
Back, and now the Global Suns are gonna try and blow up Snaking, knowing that he is very vulnerable with the Echo Saber. No BKB, they do manage to take him out. Vada does end up dying here, has the illusion out. They instantly kill it and take the tier 1. BKB and meta activated by Ace, but it's not a convincing win for them. It's a 1-for-1 trade-off. That's why they're gonna try and reinitiate here. Resolution looking back, will take that tier 1 tower.
Still has the Stone Gaze. He's going to get jumped on, but not nearly enough damage that comes out of mid one. If you're mid one, this game has to be quite awkward for him to play. He can't pop any of the cores very easily with his defusal. He needs more damage.
Holy cow, Puppy! Puppy! He's super far forward. Fortunately, the Stomp prevents VGJ Storm from pursuing. Now, Yuar's going to come in, and Yapzor saw that. Yuar reveals himself, trying to go for Yapzor. Misses out on the arrow, though.
It might be Puppy that gets sacrificed here. Is SVG running forward, Puppy.
Stuck in the trees, but they'll find Puppy eventually.
And mid one actually jumps in here, has BKB.
Tried to do it. Wants to be able to hold on to his BKB. They do manage to get the stomp onto the Dark Will in the back lines. Manta instantly pops, Stone Gaze, there it goes. They try and fight him as best they can with the Earth Splitter. Now with the stoned up Vengeful Spirit, they'll take him down, dodging the Earth Splitter. A stun. Oh no! It's gonna be Red. He got caught! Terrorized hit, Curse Crown as well. He's gonna be done for. The magic damage overwhelms his life pool. That's only
Roshan.
Ace and Yapzor who managed to get back. Roshan time for VGJ Storm.
If you want to contest this, you have to buy back now. But the Vengeful Spirit doesn't have it. Arrow flies in, and this Aegis is going to be so important for this Dusa. Trying to take her down twice almost seems like an impossible task for Secret. You notice that Ace just keeps playing defensively in these fights.
Yeah.
Even with the BKB, he's so afraid to engage.
And because they're such a timing-based team, looks like they don't really want to buy back here. SVG is going to be caught. Does have the Ghost Scepter. Arrow coming in. Arrow lands on him. Ace may just be caught here. He won't be able to turn around. It's under fast enough. A huge stomp comes in, but it doesn't save Ace's life, and he has no buyback too. Puppy tries to go for the 4-man Arcane Curse, but now he's going to be hit by the Curse Crown. Stunned up eventually. Global Silence laid out too to try and save his own life, but that won't stop the physical damage. Maybe the stomp will. It hits on 3. Puppy retreats. Bot is here. They're going to go for the Dark Will. The initiation for Snaking though. In lockdown 2. Silence already gone. Bot is down at half HP, but thankfully with Ace here with the BKB activated, he's going to go for SVG. Again, the Ghost Scepter delays things as much as possible. VGJ Storm did not take Roshan. They forced buybacks.
And Secret, they want to play around this pit area. This is their all-in. They know that if they give up this
one bad idea, but you said the right one for Secret. They're trying to go for Snaking. The Terror gonna come in. It doesn't hit mid one or Ace. They managed to get the range damage, instant buyback from Snaking. Now Ace gonna be caught inside the brambles, turning and fighting. MSS coming in. Doesn't have BKB damage. Resolution. He has no mana shield whatsoever. He's gonna be dodged. It doesn't hit by the Earth Splitter, but mid one spots him. He sees the opportunity to bring low the carry of VGJ Storm, and he doesn't have buyback. SVG has no HP either. Yuar's trying to fight through mid one. He has the BKB. Avalanche on the 2. The toss in. Puppy. Yapzor as well. They're all grounded up, and they're all gonna die to the Starstorm. VGJ Storm, they lost their carry and it looked dicey, but Yuar lives to be able to slaughter the rest of Secret, and now, finally, they can secure that Roshan, it seems.
It's not going to go to the Dusa, but what a great fight for them as Terrorblade goes down twice, doesn't have buyback now. Free Aegis and Cheese goes their way. And Secret, you're starting to see, yes, the Vengeance Core was useful for the mid game, But Ace just can't do anything in any of these fights. He can't get his damage out. Mid one doesn't deal enough damage himself to represent any sort of threat. So VGJ Storm, they just lay in spell after spell into that Terrorblade. They make it so hard for him to take these fights.
Snaking, he just seems to be a punching bag for Secret, but he was okay with dying there because he had the buyback.
I mean, look at Ace. He just doesn't really have the heroes to protect him.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom
He
tower
goes in,
is under attack.
immediately goes down, doesn't have a Sunder target to work against.
He just didn't have the range to be able to lay damage into Resolution while he was brambled as well.
Radiant's
And you
bottom
are.
tower
I mean,
is
that was just a
falling.
beautiful avalanche from Snaking, hitting 2 of them and then tossing the other.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to be able to turn things. Snaking, getting hype here. They can sense it right now.
Dealing the game to win. VGJ Storm is up by 10,000 gold now with a Medusa on their team. A cheese at their disposal. Same goes with the Aegis on the Mirana. Butterfly being built by Resolution, who has his level 25, so we now got the split shot modifiers. No Scotty though.
Trying to make that TI6 magic happen again. Does lightning strike twice. It's VGJ Storm trying to keep their hopes alive. They're gathered up. No buyback on this Terrorblade. The margin for error of Secret is none right now. But a BKB finished up by Yapzor. That'll help him at least get in the fray. They just need multiple ways to get into the fight, create a barrier for this Terrorblade, because right now Ace runs in, just dies.
Yeah.
Mid one can't really follow him up with his own BKB. It's getting so low. Does have the Hex. He's all in for this too.
The chaos of like, oh, the AoE disables that come in from VGJ Storm as well as the Stone Gaze. It just seems really hard for Team Secret to utilize those BKBs well enough to give that Terrorblade that space that you're talking about. Lincoln's being built by Yawar. The extra Shadow Realm damage for the Dark Willow. Now, even now, Dota Plus at a 12,000 gold lead still thinks the game is pretty close, but it is finally in the favor of VGJ Storm.
I don't think they've been watching these team fights.
Yeah, this is looking more and more one-sided for VGJ Storm, as it just seems so difficult for Secret to play the fights perfectly.
It all comes down to how Ace uses his meta and his BKB. If he uses his BKB too early, they just lose the fight. He can't really enter the fight anymore. Snaking's on top of him every single time. It's the arrow. Oof, Ace is too smart for that.
Because the Aegis cheese and how scared Secret is of taking another engagement, VGJ Storm will have a lot of room to farm. And possibly another objective in that tier 2 top.
And their high ground is still really sick with the ET.
Yeah.
You can't overcommit if you're VGJ Storm, but Secret, they are testing things a little bit.
Double damage you are. And disc for Snaking. Seeing that he's always being swapped back into the fight, I think a large part they want to stop that sort of instant AoE stun initiation from Snaking, so they swap him and try and take him out of the fight
Fada
first.
moving forward, here comes a swap.
Nice swap into the side device, the Terrorize, it's gonna come in, and maybe Yawar, he's gonna live! The stomp actually lands, and Fada can't finish up the run, and Earth Splitter's gonna come in, that'll do the trick, the Aegis goes down, Fada's gonna die here, has that Aghanim Scepter, they just quickly clear out the Spirit, and VGJ Storm, well, they lost that extra life for Yawar, but with Fada dead,
They'll take that.
think they go for high ground, just see if they can force a buyback.
They'll poke and prod.
Yeah.
There's still a global up, but no Earth Splitter. So their big high ground defense spell, they won't have for a little bit as mid one looking for it right now.
Hex side, but the initiation, it fails for Snaking, and now he's going to be caught inside of the base. He doesn't have that Aeon Disc. Swap back in. Cheese gives him a little bit of life, but he just takes so much damage. He's left behind by his team. VGJ Storm on full retreat right now.
MSS trying to get out. Fada, no, he is in the area. He's got the gem. He doesn't want to lose it. They might re-engage here.
Back in with the Moonlight Shadow. Curse Crown leading off on Fada.
Just going to use this to reset. Wait for your Tiny to come back up.
MSS boldly pushing in a creep wave.
That was such a good way to start the fight by mid one. He makes it so that they have to get the counter jump in. He holds the high ground. He hexes onto the low ground. MSS has to play a little bit more of a space game.
And he read the jump by Snaking, the timing there. Got the BKB off just like a good half second before the avalanche came in. And now Lincoln's onto the Medusa. But Team Secret, perhaps the ones who hold the control now.
There's so much single target from the side of Secret.
Yeah.
It's only really single target. It'll block so much of Secret's potential damage. There's no Hex that can come in. I guess you could always lead with the Diffusal first. That's the benefit of going for this build. Mid one dies. It'll be hard for this Terrorblade to ever get a Sunder off.
It is a big difference. Right now, we've got 3 cores who all have some sort of survivability item on the side of VGJ, right? Aeon Disc and the 2 Lincolns. This swap Scythe play is not going to be nearly as easy for Secret this next go-around.
Secret is just going to continue to hold high ground. Hope that their Terrorblade can somehow salvage this game for them. They need mid one to continue to just scale in items. It's only got 3. He's so far behind the farm of everyone else.
He's going back for the Hurricane Pike. Really feels like he needs the extra attack range, apparently.
I think so, against the lineup that Storm have is. Dota Plus thinks it's a 50-50 with 16k on the side of Storm still.
20 health regen. I thought he was going to go for the attack range on the Klink simply because of what we were just talking about. The range needed to be able to grab some of these heroes. Apparently as time ticks on, goes to the favor of Team Secret. VGJ Storm are going to try and force a fight here with Smoke Up. Moonlight Shadow Initiation, rather.
Did it to injure their bottleback.
And are we going to be waiting on Roshan round 3? Because buybacks are actually coming back up for most of Team Secret.
Yeah, they're going to smoke themselves, play around this area. If they can play fast enough, maybe they catch MSS. They're pretty split right now. Rezo, nowhere near anybody, is going to find the DD rune.
Oh, they can actually group up here. MSS has stopped pushing up that top lane.
It's going to be a sick timing here.
Secret are holding the high ground.
MSS, if he gets run into with the gem.
He gets the Shadow Realm. He spotted out mid one, doesn't get Scythe the Feist. Quick reactions from Mojo Storm Stout. Terrorize goes out, only hitting an illusion there. Where they were hoping to force the real Terrorblade into VGJ Storm.
I think Secret just back. There's a DD Medusa right now. You don't want to fight against her. She's got Arcane Rune too.
4-man Smoke Up. They're trying to cut off the area of retreat here for Team Secret. Cutting through this secret shop area, knowing that they would funnel back to this side shop area, but they might just be too late.
They are. They see the TB illusion walk through.
Mid one, MSS is very close. He's the one that has the gem. But Mid one's just playing on the very edges of the map right now. Ooh, that's a pretty decent upgrade there. The Bloodlust, attack speed. Oh, there's going to be the sacrifice initiation. They're going to try and take away the gem. The Avalanche is not going to be there in time. Mid one with the BKB out. Now the swap back as VGJ Storm starts separating. The on-disc apparated. And snaking. The Spirit was keeping pace, but it looks like with the Deuce there, Secret will not try and chase him down. They took away the gem, though. That's so important for Mid one, who's been trying to... His Scythe of Ice initiation has been really potent against VGJ Storm.
Lucky for Storm, Roshan's not going to spawn for some time, so they don't have to expend the buyback from the Willow. And for Secret, it's about trying to get some more map control back so they can control this area, because I think Roshan Cheese and the Refresher is everything. You get the double global, that would be huge for Puppey. And the team fight. For Storm, the Aegis is still very valuable on them. There's so much jump on the side of Secret.
They are going to see the Warp, but first they're going to be able to see all this team. Yapzor is going to be a good target to go for first with a big team fighter for the swap back. Again, Pants are going to BKB off, but he still dies. Earth Splitter goes off, hits Resolution, but he's still playing damage into Fada. Alongside you are, they finish up that core as well. Ace no longer having the BKB with the Terrorize on hit. Oh, good hit, and he's going to run right back into the VGJ Storm team. That's going to be 3 dead on the side of Secrets. Buybacks available for both Yapzor as well as Ace, but without meta, I'm not sure if they can do much.
He's trying to cut the wave, but they're going to keep one creep alive for this.
Now the push forward.
And a regen rune for the Medusa. Fada doing everything he can, but this one creep that he left behind, it'll haunt him.
Puppey, they're going to try and hunt him down, see if they can take away that pesky support. He misses it. Oh no, that might just sound. No, he's still dead. A buyback coming out from Yapzor, still holding on to
that creep alive.
They're going to keep that one creep alive, now dies to the stomp. Most of the buybacks coming out, there's only going to be Fada who doesn't have it for the side of Secret, so no meta in a 4 versus 5. Team Secret just going to have to stall out the game for 90 seconds. But always got to be wary of the initiation resolution. As Lincoln's gets popped, he pops the Manta in return.
They know that Fada doesn't have buyback. or he would have used it by now. Secret, they still have to be careful.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Now the stomp comes in.
Dire's
Force
top
staff is
tower
out.
is falling.
He's good. The
Look at top
lane
mid one.
by mid one. He is very quickly. Oh, the whoa! He managed to get away ever so barely.
Or the spirit, I should say. They have to protect this top area. Mid one's got a gem. Do they have the vision for him? They've got the gem of their own. Mid one has the BKB TP out.
Oh god, he's so close. Mid one.
He sees the courier go by.
If they had the courier go over.
Is he gonna go for the snipe?
Double damage. Regeneration.
Mid one is not willing to risk his life.
Mid one's job right now is just to kill MSS every single time.
Yeah. His Terrorize being so effective against
Look
Team
at the secret. They've got a CD room TB. They've determined that this is their best possible chance at winning with no buybacks. Rezo gonna walk in, sees Ace.
Right in with the BKB, activated Stone Gaze, and immediately forced down out of the pit. That is going to be BKB as well as Stone Gaze now for VGJ Storm.
I think Ace, he wants to re-engage. He's got meta up.
VGJ Storm are trying really hard to catch somebody. They find nothing in their hands.
That was all the BKBs used by VGJ Storm.
A huge opportunity now for Team Secret to win an engagement. Meta and BKB ready to go for this Terrorblade. Can they finally take control of this Roshan pit against a VGJ Storm that has a 21,000 gold lead? But it's dangerous with no buyback on Ace. There is a buyback available on this Dusa. It feels like if you get into one of those really prolonged fights, you could be in trouble.
They're still playing around this area, but their window of opportunity might have just ended as the BKB comes back up. 10 seconds.
Illusion's just trying to take out the ward. There's a splitter on a two. Swap back arrows inside. They're going to be able to take out the Dark Will. That's an important kill with no buyback. Yawar comes in, trying to hunt down Fada as best as possible. Doesn't want to overcommit. He's going to commit. He's going to go for the kill on Fada with a BKB activated, but he's not quite finding him. Fada is juking a little bit into the trees, trying to leap one more leap away, but now the swap back, and Yawar, he did overcommit. He gets caught by Team Secret and is forced into the buyback now. A 4 versus 4. Fada does have his buyback. He could make the odds tip in Secret's favor a little bit more.
I think he should go for it right now. Rezo's starting to get pretty low.
Leading damage on a Resolution who has very little mana left.
Ace with the meta. You want to take advantage of this right now. And he still have the Venge Spirit from the Ags.
That's why he's not buying back. No sense needed.
This is going to be an Aegis Cheese and Refresher for Secret.
Oh, that's going to be massive.
Rezo doesn't really want to fight without full mana. The arrow's going to fly in.
The Global Silence goes down. They're trying to protect it. BKB goes. The top Resolution's coming in. Can he grab anything? H is already picked up by Resolution. He drops so low with the Stone Gaze and activates, but one last shot from Ace brings him down. Now going to try and chase SVG, who goes for the Ghost after TP back. Optimistic play, but he will still die. VGJ Storm lose control of the game just like that, an attempt to interrupt Roshan.
This game is getting so dicey for them. Fight after fight they were winning with all these items, but now Secret being so smart around this area. They're no longer rushing things, and Fada with that Aghanim Scepter is doing so much work. Doesn't even matter if he dies.
The stomp hitting onto the Dark Willow is what starts it all. This swap play from Fada with the Aghanim Scepter time and time again is catching VGJ Storm out of position into the disable of the Scythe of Ice every time.
They need MSS to do a better job in his positioning. He can't afford to get swapped out. He's got no Aether Lens.
Yeah.
Can't play that range game. He's got no Aeon Disc. Doesn't have the survivability. As soon as he gets swapped in, he dies in half a second. And now so much of the disable on the side of VGJ Storm and so much of the team fight. It's his Terrorizes that have been turning these fights.
Look at all these force stats coming out from Team Secret. They know they just need to be able to kite the Dusa around as much as possible because now they've got the range advantage onto the Terrorblade with a level 25, the Hurricane Pike as well. He actually outranges the Stone Gaze effectiveness.
And Rezo doesn't want to buy back. He's up in 17. They're going to sacrifice the Rax for this.
He's going to try and get the instance done as the Yules. Mid one will pop the BKB as a result and gets the melee Rax. Team Secret look to reset.
They've got 8 seconds left. Ace still has that Aegis. But with the Medusa coming in, this is going to send them back. Oh wow, 17k. They cut down to 3, and they take the Rax lead for themselves.
Dire's
What a
bottom
massive
tower
swing.
has
Team
fallen.
Secret looking to be able to close out this series in a 2-0. VGJ Storm fighting for their lives here in the International.
Never doubt Dota Plus.
That's what we've all learned this entire International.
It's always right.
61%. Not massive change. And we can see how like gold at this point in time doesn't really change that much the win probability for either side.
Storm can still win this game. The team
Yes.
fight for them is still very strong. But they've lost so much of their advantage.
And they just keep on losing out in the initiation, right?
Yes.
The last two fights has been Team Secret with swaps.
I thought the game was over when Secret had to use all their buybacks, fight around that Roshan pit area. It was pretty much all the buybacks used. Storm had buybacks on all their cores. That's such a big advantage, but Secret, they played for the win. They played around that Roshan area. The swap into MSS, you see that he's the core target for them.
Tell me, Blitz, what would a Divine Rapier do for you if you saw that on a Medusa?
It's useful, but it matters
change
more
the
than
game.
MSS. No, I think MSS's positioning changes this game more.
Sitting on the high ground, Poppy. They throw out the Spirit first to scout the high ground. Good thing, too, Moonlight Shadow is not going to stop the Spirit from landing on these heroes. Telling Yapzor. Whole team is up there right now.
She's going to go high ground here as Ace.
Trying to go for the
meta
Terror
for
Rise. See if they can get the initiation on two. The Terror Blade's going to be caught. They instantly manage to blow up the Silencer, and they're going to be able to go on to Ace, but he gets off the Thunder. No, the Link is blocked it. He's not able to get it off. He's going to have to try for round 2 here. His second life. BKB already activated. Toss up in the air, and actually his Resolution instead. Looking to be able to slow down Ace on the side, though. Mid-one is going for the Ogre, but it's Ace who's more important to activate his refreshers are turned around. He managed to get off the Sunder, but Snaky with the Ghost Scepter will be able to dodge a lot of damage. He's got the Divine. Can't get away. He's got the Divine Rapier. Everything to be able to save Rezo right now, but he's hit by this Stomp. Can they catch up to him? Here comes Yapzor, laying damage into Resolution. He needs 2 more swipes. 1 more. The body falls through you on the long range. They get him with Ace. He's dead. No buyback. Only Sneaky can do it now. MSS falls, but the damage, it's all gone for VGJ Storm, and Team Secret march in with 3 heroes, but they're a little bit timid. They know it's a 3 versus 3, and they just got a massive win being able to take away that Divine Rapier off of the Dusa.
And now it comes to mid one. Lack damage no longer. So he's going to go for the high ground here. They have so much range on these heroes. Ace has that meta up for just a little bit longer.
And he's got the multi-shot too for the Klings, so he is ready to lay out so much damage. Can VGJ Storm possibly hold this for a full minute? Let's swap back in on a Sinking. Hex instantly taken away. Does manage to get a good Terrorize in. The Bedlam follow-up, but it's not quite enough. Mid-one has plenty of HP to be able to work with, and thanks to the Stomp, Sinking is going to come in. He tries to go for Yapzor instead. You'll Scepter on MSN, but look at the damage coming out from Midway. Just 2 shots of his Sinking falling as well. That's the end of the game. Team Secret will 2-0 VGJ keep themselves alive here at the International.
What a comeback. They could have just held the high ground, but instead they go for the buybacks. They play for the win. They play for the throat.